Hello everybody and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will and today I'll not be your Dungeon Master, but I will be your host as we return to the Age of Dongers, elsewise known as the Age of Worms. Episode 2. We've had one episode, which I don't really remember very much of because I was really sick for it. So it's all kind of like a haze, but I remember being Liam Neeson. And that was good. So I'm looking forward to today's episode. So we have our full cast and crew back for today. Of course, we are led by the irascible Askren. How's it going?
That is a new term. I've never been described as irascible before.
Well, now you have. I'm taking your irascible virginity, and I'm doing what I want with it.
Irasciginity. Word.
Irasciginity? I don't know. It's certainly good.
I don't know the meaning of the word.
Have a little Google. Better have some smaller guys. It's definitely got some dongs around. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
So Askren, what are we doing today?
Well, today, of course, we are back with session 2 of our brand new campaign, Age of Worms. We'll actually do a little bit of a recap in just a bit, but first, why don't we go around and say hi to the cast?
Yeah, let's start with the irreproachable Brandon. How's it going? I don't know, is that a word? Irreproachable?
I'll take it. Doing pretty well. I'm glad to be back, ready to kick some more butts.
Good. Awesome. And who are you going to be playing today?
We are back on Zareth Kindsword, the fighter with a knack for cooking and kicking the butt of evildoers.
Excellent. And we have the impeccable Seven with us today. How's it going, Seven?
I'm severely depressed at the moment, but it's doing good nonetheless. How about you, Will?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. Tell me more about Oren.
He is filled with regret and questioning his actions at the moment.
We'll get more into why, I'm sure, in a few moments here.
Oh yeah.
We have the immaculate Hagosha. How's it going, Hagosha?
It's wonderful, my friend.
Excellent. Tell us about Bear today.
We're back with Bear. He's a furball druid. He's 7'8", 260 pounds. He's a gentle giant. He just loves everybody.
Perfect. And last but not least, we have the irrepressible Courtney. I know a lot of these words. I'm making some of these up, I think. But Courtney, how's it going?
Well, I was almost late because I had decided not to tell me that their internet was down until I got everything out on the table and set up, ready to go. And then, our internet's sorry.
Oh man. So tell us about Wanetta.
Picture behind me. I'm back at the Starbucks that I was at last week. So.
You're going through super quiet, so let us pump up your volume if you can a little bit. But tell us a little bit about Wanetta. Or Wanetta.
Anyway, I will be playing again my Gnome Warlock Wanetta, and she got attacked by bugs last week, and she's still a little bit shaky about that.
Cool. So yes, the pipe is gone. The pipe may return for Brandon. Who knows? I may kind of stick it in his mouth when I please.
I didn't even notice that you clipped that dragon.
I'll stick it right back in.
I might stick it right back in that mouth whenever I want. So
you do have a pretty mouth.
So we'll see. But yes, let's do a recap of last session because I seriously don't remember too much. There were zombies, there was farms, there were scarabs and shit like that. So Askren.
Yeah. So all right. So as we opened on the Age of Worms, you guys had all kind of through your travels and through various means, you had all arrived in the town of Diamond Lake. Very, very, very much separate. You all had your own agendas and your own kind of needs and hopes and dreams. You would learn that things were not particularly right in the town of Diamond Lake. Among other things, bandits roam the countryside. There are groups of adventurers in town, but there seem to have been rumors of undead that had been crawling out of the crypts that surround the valley and making their way inland, destroying farms and homes in the process. Particularly, or the first one hit, seemed to be a farmer Hamsby, and he... You sort of learned that his farm had been attacked by undead. He fled with his family and sort of recruited you guys a little bit with the promise of turnips and not much else. No, there was turnips and there was something. He did give you something else. You guys remember what it was?
Yes, it was a belt of fire giant strength.
It was, yes.
Mhm.
But really it was the turnips that sold it.
It always is.
And so you also at the Feral Dog Tavern, you kind of learned from another group of adventurers that they were going out seeking to sort of earn their coin by stopping this blight. They possibly tried to lead. Either they tried to lead you in a wrong direction, or they themselves didn't know where they were going. You took your own path. You investigated the farm and you followed the footsteps to a hold on, my internet connection's a little bit unstable. You followed the sort of undead footsteps to a crypt called the Whispering Cairn. Inside the Whispering Cairn, you found it was a very ancient tomb that had been constructed by, I don't know, seemingly very interesting people, as the sarcophagus itself was both trapped to release a swarm of scarabs, but was also keyed in a very mechanical sense. You needed to turn it so it was pointing at a certain alcove in the temple in order to lower an elevator that took you down into the tombs below. In the tombs below, you found that a necromancer had been raising undead creatures and using some sort of magic, 3 undead that he had created fused together in sort of this mishmash of flesh and bone, blood and kind of guts.
Pretty hot.
Which you, yeah, it was nasty but strangely arousing. As you fought it. It was a pretty nasty fight. Some of you took a little bit of injury, but once it was finally felled, the necromancer himself was attempting to cast a spell, and then your bard friend attempted to dispel the magic. Whether or not he was successful is hard to determine, as there was kind of this reaction. A fairly violent magical reaction that killed the necromancer in the process. It kind of like threw you guys to the ground, and seems to have turned the staff into one that can talk. However, the first person to rush over and pick it up, which was our bard friend, the staff does not seem to like him all that much. It seems to actually detest him. And as we pick things up, you guys are still in the crypt. The necromancer has just died, and you have just sort of picked up this staff that is less than pleased with your handling it. So that's, as we bring the camera back in on this episode, that is where we're gonna find ourselves. You guys are still in the crypt chamber, and you're kind of looking around, still kind of unsure as to what exactly is going on around you.
Cool. Well, thanks for the recap. I did not remember lots of that, but that is good to know that all of those things happened to us. So before we dive into the action here, I remind you guys of ways that you can interact with the show as we go on throughout today, and the rest of our shows today later on as well. So first of all, if you haven't followed, hit that follow button and join us. When we hit 20 followers, you guys get to decide anything which happens next in our campaign. I believe it was scarabs last week, and maybe some other things as well, but there was some nastiness going on, and most days there's some shenanigans happening as well, comets included. Also, if you haven't retweeted, hit the retweet button there. When we get to 20 retweets, you guys are going to get another viewer decision, and of course 2 new subscribers and 2 new patrons, and we will have another viewer decision. Also, you can of course donate to affect the game, give players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and so much worse So many worse things down below underneath donate there. We're on the road to 10,000. We're under 100 there. What are we, like 80, 70-ish away from
75.
10,000, 75? Fuck! So that's pretty exciting. Let's see if we can bash this out by the end of our week, which is tomorrow. So yeah, looking forward to it. Other than that, I'll hand back over to Askren.
Yes. Okay, so basically we've covered it. You guys are in the cavern. I'm going to have to put your names on screen. Give me one for myself, because I'm bad at this. All right. So I believe it was Orem that took the staff, correct?
I don't remember.
Yup.
It was.
You remember? Mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember now?
All right. So as you guys kind of you're just kind of regaining your senses after this sort of pulse of magical energy, just kind of disrupted the whole chamber, and you kind of hear, as your senses come back, you hear, you see Orem. He's kind of got this staff in his hand, and it looks like this gnarled kind of wooden staff. There are various like bones and kind of trinkets and stuff dangling from it. It looks, part of it looks fire damaged, but it doesn't like it. But it feels very very hardened. Almost like it's not like rubbing soot on your hand, like it's fresh firewood. It just seems like ancient kind of charring on the surface. It is topped by a kind of roundish gem or crystal, which sort of seems to contain, right now at least Orem can see, like the image of the hazy image of an eye or something that is kind of looking out at him from it, and you guys can just kind of make out that it is sort of shouting at him. It says, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? Put me down. I don't want to be here. Who are you? You're very ugly.
What
rude.
sorcery is this?
Why is your staff talking to you?
Magic.
I'm not a staff. I'm a wizard.
You are a wizard.
Of course. I am Alustan. Who are you?
My name is Zareth. You do realize you do not take the physical form of what most consider to be a wizard, yes?
What are you talking about?
You look as if you are a staff.
You currently look like you are a staff. And I don't mean the kind that are in restaurants. I mean the kind that are held in hands, made of wood.
A great big shaft.
You're a great big wooden shaft right now. Which I don't mind, but it is strange that you are talking to me.
The kind of the eye in the staff kind of like glances around. He says, for a second, he says, "Oh my God. Who is the bumbling buffoon here who thinks they understand how magic works?"
I believe that would be you, sir.
Yep, that would be me.
Do you not realize what you've done?
Countered your spell and projected your consciousness into your staff?
He says, I was using powerful scrying magic to peer in on this vile necromancer as he performed his craft so that I may undo him. And then you, in the middle of my spell, came and performed your bumbling feat of incompetence, and you seem to disassociated me from my body and stuck me in the object that I was scrying on.
Well, you see, it's an easy mistake to make that you were the necromancer when you told the zombies to attack us, and they did.
That was him!
You all sound the same to me, humans. You know.
What It sounds like we accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. The necromancer is done for, yes. What if you gave us directions to where you were scrying from, and we bring you to you?
It won't matter much, but you are welcome to attempt. First of all, who are you?
I told you who I am. I am Zareth.
My name is Marshall.
Oh, names. Who needs names?
His name is Arm.
Bear is still currently a bear.
That's
This
a bear.
is our traveling bear with cart, and this is a tiny little insano. She's not quite all here, named Juanita.
Listen, this is too weird for me. I'll be right back. I've got to go to the little boy's room.
Can you remind me, Askren, what the room we're in looks like? I can't remember if there were branches from where we were in, or if
Yeah. So you kind of came to the end of the hallway, and you're in sort of like probably a 20 by probably a 30 by 30 chamber. There are two smaller side rooms that lead off of it, but you can see from where you are, those side rooms seem to be where the actual kind of tombs, like the actual sarcophagi and stuff, were kept. A lot of them seem to have been looted or covered with junk, as the necromancer seems to have been, from what you can tell, largely living down here for quite a while. There is a large sort of central stone table, like in the center of the room, probably about 15 by 15, and it is currently heaped with piles of like half-rotted bodies or bones that have just been kind of stacked one on top of the other.
Marshall heads off into like a side room to go and relieve himself. He's been like holding on for ages now.
seems appropriate place of it. Now that it's already been defiled. Well, shall we take this wizard with us? Wizard, I can't recall your name. It was just so quick. And
Alustan.
Do you think you and our friend Aurum here could get along for a bit?
I would prefer it if I never saw this one's face again.
Well, if you come with us to you, his face is gonna be here. So...
Well, then perhaps he can cover it with something.
Maybe we should just put a cloak over you.
Says, absolutely not. I refuse.
Then I put him like staff downwards into my bag.
You can kind of hear muffled sort of shouting, like a lot of very, very loud cursing and shouting coming from there.
That's good. That's fine. I'm okay with this. I feel this is a fine compromise.
So then I think we're at a point where we can leave this tomb. There seems to be more.
The you kind of hear sort of as you guys are turning to leave, you actually hear a sound coming from like immediately to your left, like right as you enter the hallway, and there's nothing immediately to your left. There's just a wall, but it says, "Are you really going to leave here without at least listening to what I've found?"
Proceed.
By the way, yes, I can still cast spells.
Then proceed. What is it you have found? I'm listening now.
Marshall rushes, catches up the group basically. What are we doing now? Oh, he's talking.
He says, You're going to leave this necromancer without even finding out why he was here?
Do you know why?
Of course I do.
Can you enlighten me?
Well, since you asked so nicely...
I can charisma check if you'd like.
I get out like a bit of tinder and a match, and I like light it, and I say, "Start talking, or else things are gonna get real hot in there."
No, we don't need it.
He doesn't seem to notice the fire, but he just says he says, if you'll search in the room off to your left among the pile of detritus, you will find 2 items that I have identified as particularly important. One of which is a book, the other is a jar.
Okay. I will. So he pointed like to the wall?
He can't really point.
Fair. That's fair. Okay. So he indicated that it would
He
be.
said to the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go to the wall and like start.
Well, no, he said the room to the left.
Oh, the room. I will proceed to the room.
You just start looking at the wall.
I'll do a little shimmy.
He's on the wall. Oh, there's a door here.
I failed a perception check. That doesn't happen.
Guys, there's a blank space in this wall. Yes,
Like,
it's a door.
Hello.
No, you could just again, you can see that there's a room, to the left and to the right, and one of the chambers has kind of like a pile of his stuff on top of one of the crypts.
I'd like to go to the room to the left then and see what's going on.
As you're kind of rifling through this stuff, you find a couple things. The first thing you find is in a lot of his junk, like his old like necromancer clothes, which means it's like ratty robes and stuff that probably haven't been washed in forever. They smell really, really bad. Little bits of bones, carvings, things that he's been just hanging on to, and possibly things he pulled from graves and stuff like that. There seems to be a book, which like a leather-bound volume with all kinds of pages that have been like stuck into it and are kind of hanging out of it. As you flip through it, it seems to be both a combination of like a spell book and a journal. So it's like on some pages there are like elaborate rituals that have been written out, most of which you don't really kind of understand outright. And then there's there seems to be sections of just like diary or prose kind of writing. The other thing you actually find is wrapped up in like sackcloth and tied off. It does, and you only kind of know what it is when you put your hand on it and you feel kind of like the glass under the cloth. And as you pull the cloth away, it seems to be like a large pickling jar filled with some sort of viscous green clear fluid, and inside there seems to be a fairly thick, kind of chunky, segmented looking worm. It's just kind of floating in this liquid.
I'm not familiar with this worm. I'll call the party, and I know not of this magic, but you might be able to interpret some of his book here.
When he
Sorry, go ahead.
When he calls, Bear stands up, not realizing he's still in his bear form, and just kind of like
walks over.
He's like doing the boomkin dance from WoW. He's like,
Looks like you've...
I just saw that scene transition, Will. Why?
Looks like you found a nice pickled worm there.
I'm familiar with this way of storing materials, but not with this worm. I don't know what it is. Can I open the top on the jar?
When you're older, I'll tell you.
You could if you'd like, yeah. It's pretty. I mean, it looks like it's been sealed with wax.
Okay. I don't like the way you said that, but I'm gonna try to open it anyway.
All right. What's up?
This is a good time to just remind the player that we saw the zombies with all the worms in them, and zombies with worms in them, and there's worm in a jar. That was like 5 seconds.
Yeah, but
You know more about magic than I do.
That was like 5 seconds ago. I'm just reminding the player. I'm not there. I'm just reminding.
I mean, you are there. You're like
I
10 feet away.
Oh, I am there? In that case, oh, no. Remember the zombies and the worms? I basically did what I just did.
Oh, here's good to have you here. You're proving yourself valuable already. Can you interpret any of this tome? And I kind of like open it to Orem and Juanetta.
Dear diary.
Today was rough.
Yeah. So Orem, you want to look at the spell book?
Yeah, is that an Arcana check?
Not really. I mean, I'll tell you right away. Most of the magic stuff is out of your sphere. There's a lot of it is rituals written in languages which, I mean, you probably could take the time to decipher. Being a bard, you've kind of dipped in a lot of different languages, but you get the sense that most of these rituals and most of these spells you probably wouldn't want to know, even if you could. But the journal sections seem to be of particular interest. Particularly, you notice there seems to be, like as you're flipping through, there seems to be a most recent entry,
Started 2015.
which I will show to you, and then you can kind of read.
Neat.
Then you can read. Thank you to JC Let's Play and Drake Groove for following, and both gentlemen and scholars. Welcome to the adventure, my friends. Need a kobold wizard name?
Root.
Groot's good. I like John. That's a strong suggestion. Anyways.
Right. So you should have been sent the handout.
Where?
Oh, I thought it's on roll 20.
Ah, there we go. Thank you.
Okay. Should I show this to the streamers?
Well, he's the one reading it, so he can read it out if you'd like, or he can.
Okay.
Pass it around. Probably would be too difficult to read on stream.
So should I read it or?
No, I mean I meant too difficult to show on stream, just because
gotcha.
the picture is so small.
My benefactor in town has assured me that I should not be disturbed by wayward treasure hunters or glory seekers. Well, he was wrong. Who might interrupt my important research here? His gift in the form of the necromancy ritual is enough to inspire confidence in his ability to make good on that promise. Well, I assume he wields some manner of influence or wealth, as I cannot imagine him procuring such a treasure of dark knowledge otherwise. This ritual has opened my eyes to the possibilities beyond death out there. Isn't necromancy a commonly known thing? Vampires? Isn't this established?
Well, I don't think it's a common practice, certainly illegal.
Nothing I'm fond of having around.
But there is a true force that wishes to right us all in the glorious dark. And if I can but pry one sliver of its essence away and into my creations, they will be more powerful than I could have hoped. I will be immortalized in legend when I create such unstoppable minions. He failed.
Unstoppable indeed.
I know not where this great power comes from, but I have gleaned tells me it is old, and it slumbers in the void. A power to rival any of the darkest gods. Perhaps I can find some history on such a subject. Well, this doesn't seem very good at all.
It doesn't. This has to be related to the evil prophecy. And I wonder, is there any mention of who his benefactor in town is?
Oh, yes, right here at the bottom it says, my benefactor, for those who may on the off chance kill me, is I am not that stupid.
But it was
Excellent.
pretty stupid. I mean, he did say he was on.
I don't think he knows what that word means.
I was being sarcastic.
You damn bards.
What do you-
Someone in town who's colluding with this.
What should we do?
Well, we should clearly bring this to the authorities. Maybe there's a church with paladins nearby. Generally speaking, paladins are very good at
That's right, I am a paladin.
Well, I was thinking of a large force because, I mean, you are very powerful. Do not get me wrong, Marshal. Though you are strong in the way of the Neeson. But
Thank you. It's my holy order.
however, I do not think you have the power to rival something that can rival the darkest of gods.
That might be true. It might be true. Well, I suppose we should try and get help then.
Mm-hmm.
We should take that tome with us.
What
Hold
about
on.
the captain of the guard? He could be helpful, maybe.
It's true.
We don't know who we can trust in town.
That's true. The sheriff was a bit of a turd.
Mhm.
Was he? Oh, yes, he was.
Hmm.
I remember now.
Can I take the book? I want to look at the book.
I give the crazy girl the book.
Nice. And I'm gonna flip through it, and I'm looking for something in particular, Askren. It has to do with my secret.
Okay. Roll me a perception check. Roll me a perception check, please. Do you want the answer kept secret?
Yes.
Okay.
She's in her own head again. This is not good.
Okay. You what languages do you speak?
Let's see. I speak Gnomish, Common, Elvish, and Primordial.
Okay. It would there's no mentions of it specifically in the journal entries. It's possible you don't see anything immediately in the text of the rituals and the spells, though it's possible that if with continued study you might be able to decipher some of their contents, because none of them are particularly written in Common. They're kind of all in various languages. They seem to be very, very old spells. This is something you'd be a little bit familiar with because it's kind of in your wheelhouse. So yeah, with enough time, you may be able to prize some information from this book.
Okay. If Aram is trying to take the book back from me, I would give it back to him. But if he's not, I'm just gonna stand there with it.
I'm just watching her saying, is she still... Are you like still reading it, or are you just holding it like...
After a couple minutes, I probably would have just like shut it and stood there with it, probably looking up. Like she's standing there looking at you like, do you want it back, or...
Did you, like, how... Did you understand any of it?
Kinda.
Well, when we next have a moment to rest that is inside a creepy tomb, we'll put our heads together and try and crack it.
Sounds good.
You hold on to it for now.
Okay. I'll put it in my bag.
All right.
I think I'll leave the jar in the tomb. I guess I'll head to the room that would have been in the right from the main room just to take a peep.
These crypts seem to have been mostly opened. The bodies probably exhumed. There is at the back of the room there is one very much larger and more ornate than the others. That one seems to have been like the lid actually is kind of sitting off on the side in a couple pieces. It seems to have been smashed open, and whatever was inside it is gone.
Does the crypt have any like particular markings or anything, or is it just kind of like a bigger one?
There's definitely some kind of carving, some relief carvings and stuff in the side of the sarcophagus and along the walls. But as far as you can tell, they just seem to be very old and artistic mostly. They don't seem to be depicting anything that you can readily identify.
Gotcha. It's a shame this happened to these graves. Well, I can think of no other reason to stay in this crypt but a moment longer.
Should we check the necromancer's body?
You may have at it.
Bear's going to try to say something and then realize he's still in his bear shape, and he's gonna go back to his regular form.
Oh, there you are! You're back!
Yes. Sorry. Sometimes I forget.
Happens to the best of us.
Let's
I
take a look at
don't
this
think
necromancer and let's get out of here.
All right.
It's cold.
Do you mean
Yes,
to make
let's look at him.
Need an investigation or?
You want to search his body?
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check.
Perception.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
Hello.
Give me 1 second.
Bear is perceiving all the things.
Bear notices everything.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's a good roll.
Probably that. So as you're kind of pushing over his body, you obviously have his staff, which is probably the most ornate thing that he was carrying. He has what appear to be a little belt bandolier with a few little vials of something deep reddish. They're not like potion flasks. They're like thin little vials. He has a dagger. It's like a snake curvy dagger. Chris, I guess it'd be called, in his in his belt. And the only other thing that he has really of note seems to be like a gold ring.
Bear will kind of look at the ring. We'll see if might be anything special about it.
You just want to turn it over
just kind of like look at it, turn it over, see if there's anything written or anything like that.
So the ring itself, it has sort of like this wavy pattern, almost like a snake kind of going around it, and then where there might be a gem or something, there's just sort of like a flat kind of gold piece with the engraving of what looks like an eye.
So a question, the dagger, is it like literally a snake or is it just kind of curvy?
No, it's here. I'll draw, you guys are on this map, so I'll draw it. It's just like,
I know what you're talking. The shape you're talking about. The Chris shape.
Okay, all right. I was just wondering if it was like literally carved to look like one. That's all.
No, it just kind of looks like this.
All right.
Also, as Bear has a look at it or is nearby, so roll a soft wild magic surge from Skageth. So a D10,000.
All right, so Bear, as you pick this ring up, let me go ahead and grab that wild magic table.
One ring to rule them all.
Open is gonna happen. 6222.
Yep, 6222. Oh jeez.
Okay. As you kind of pick up the ring, you kind of like go to rub some dirt off the eye on the center. And go ahead and roll me 1d4.
Hey Pixie Gal, also we've just hit 20 retweets, which means viewer decision time coming up here. Askren, should we do it right now?
Actually, I may want to bank that because we'll do it in just a second.
Alright, we're gonna do it in 20 minutes, otherwise we'll forget about it.
Alright, I gotta know. I'm actually checking how much these weigh. Hold on.
Question. Do things that were banked last session carry over to this session?
No, you lose them or lose them. Use them or lose them.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey
Red, what's up, buddy?
Okay. So you you guys all hear a loud crash as Bear. I need you to roll me a reflex save.
Everyone?
Nope, just Bear.
Oh, just me.
Okay.
Dex say, oh god, Dex is my worst.
Dexterity save, yeah.
Oh hey, that's not terrible. It's a -2.
So you're gonna take a little bit of damage, but not as much as possible. As you guys hear a loud crash, as whatever this ring was, or whatever he was looking at, is I'm not gonna say he's actually holding them, but he basically some sort of magic spell creates this sort of force effect with about probably about 2,000 pounds of weight just right down, bringing your hand with this ring just slamming down into the ground, and you just manage to kind of pull it away as your fingers are like the tip of like one of your fingers is gonna get crushed as you pull it away, but this thing is gonna slam down into the stone because 622 is the target is suddenly holding 1d4 anvils.
Oh. Hello? I don't think we're meant to take that ring, Bear.
Well, his hand, like one of his fingers, is like pinned under the sort of weight of this thing.
I'll go try to You can speak now. You're no longer a bear, Bear.
Holy shit.
Someone please help.
Yeah, I'm gonna lift.
Come help me.
Yeah, I'm gonna help lift it up.
Oh my god.
You guys are kind of pushing against this, and it actually you don't really make much progress. It actually takes some time for the effect to actually sort of dissipate after, and eventually he kind of manages to pull his hand. You are going to take well, we're gonna say like your hand is currently like pretty
Pulsing.
Yeah.
Pretty pulsing.
Oh, it's like throbbing even.
It's like 3 times the size. Cartoon style.
Why would he ever need that spell? Why would he ever need that spell?
Seems a silly trap to put on a ring.
Seems like a
You
good
never
trap.
know.
I think we're meant to leave that here.
How much of the damages do I take?
We'll say that for now, you're like until you get some healing, your hand is just kind of crippled.
In that case, Bear is going to use his lay on hands and try to heal it.
All right. You kind of expend your paladin magic, mending the wound as best you can, but it's still like, it's still not
hurts.
right. Yeah, it's gonna take a little while for it to kind of get. It might work properly again. You don't really know. It still kind of creaks and cracks as you move it.
That doesn't look good. This place is bad news. I say we get out of here.
All right. So as you guys are able to sort of on your way out, you're actually able to find a switch that will raise the elevator. It's just right in the wall next to where the platform came down, and you were able to make your way out of the crypt. Now that there is no undead to follow or roaming the countryside, it's a fairly simple trip back to Diamond Lake. Where things seem to be bustling without really having noticed much of anything that you guys have gone through today. What do you want to do once you've gotten back to Diamond Lake?
I would have liked to stop on the farm on the way back to get turnips.
Yeah, you bagged a couple already.
I would like to make a note that Bear, before we left, was going to pick up the body of the necromancer in his still good hand and carry it out with them. Just like throw it on his cart when we take it back to town.
But why?
I have a plan.
Can I do a medicine check on Bear's hand?
What do you want to look for?
I want to see if I can do some jury-rigged first aid on it.
It's not really broken. Like he can use it. It's just kind of like you hear like the bones kind of cracking a little bit, like the joints popping. It's
good
Okay.
signs.
I won't poke it then. I won't poke it.
all right. So yeah, you can take the body back with you. What is your goal back in town?
I guess find some
Bear's
help.
basically, when he takes it back, he's gonna try to see if anybody has any particular reactions to it.
Sure. Do you want to just parade the body around town? Do you want to?
That seems like the kind of thing he might do for this effect to get the intended result.
I'm gonna not be around when he does that.
Bear, I need to know more of your plan before we roll into the town toting around this dead necromancer. in your
I think it's a
cart.
good idea.
But
Well, think about it this way. His journal said that he had a benefactor in town.
yes.
So really,
Do you think this benefactor will want to show themselves when we present the dead body of a friend? Or will they be less inclined?
what I'm saying is, look out. Notice everyone's reactions. Maybe then we can find out.
There. I know you are a man of nature, and death might be something you see all around, but these are civilized people in the city who are not exposed to corpses on a regular basis.
Are you saying I'm uncivilized?
I am saying you are in tune with nature.
Yes. This is true.
And as I am ignorant of the ways of nature, you are not as proficient in the ways of city folk. We all have our niche.
I just kind of like lean down over you and I'm just like, I know the way city people think. They are simple, they are afraid. People cannot deny their own natures. When they see something they fear, they always react.
I like
And
it.
he turns around and starts walking again.
I like it a lot. I follow after him.
Alright, so what is your plan overall? What do
Parade
you guys-
dead bodies around town. See what happens next.
So my plan is to have everybody, walk around with the necromancer's body in the cart there, and
Okay.
basically have the party kind of look around while I'm doing that to see if anybody reacts in a way they seem kind of.
I gotcha. So does what does the rest of the group want to do while he's doing this?
I guess I'll go find like a paladin in the Holy Order.
Yeah, there's a temple of like Timora and some stuff and some other various. Like this town doesn't have individual orders in it. It's way too small for that.
Sure.
But there is like a unified cathedral that has individual
Yeah.
shrines to like Timora and other
I'll
kind
go
of
to
good.
the paladin
deities.
shop then, and have a snoop around.
So you're telling me it's a universalist church?
Yeah, I mean, kinda. It's got a little bit of everything. So he's
Tell me
going
the
there
color.
with the rest of you guys.
I think I'll try to find the sheriff,
Okay.
old Sheriff McGruff, and see if there are any like particularly wealthy people or like known wizards or like people interested in magic around town.
Okay.
And I guess I'll insight check people while Bear parades the body.
You got it. All right. So so you guys go ahead and roll me the insight check. We'll do that in 1 second. But you manage to find the sheriff. He's not particularly hard to find. I gotta go find my notes where I put his name.
I have it. It's Cubbin.
Yes, that's right.
Hey, there you go.
Been writing a lot of games recently, so I'm trying to find where on my notes it is. So you find him. He's standing outside sort of the barracks. Roll me a perception check, please.
Okie doke. Let's see. Perception plus 4.
Perception.
That was weirdly French. Perception.
Perception.
You just kind of as you're approaching, you just see him kind of like there are 2 guards kind of around him standing outside the barracks, and you see you just see some guy kind of walking down like away from him as you like they just seem to have finished a conversation just as you're arriving, and the sheriff he kind of looks like he's about to turn back into the barracks where he notices you. He says, "Hey, what do you want?"
Hello, Cubbin. found a bit of a disturbing circumstance not far outside of the town. You know of the farmer that was attacked, yes?
Yeah, well, it was bothering me before. Yeah, you save his radishes or whatever.
Indeed, they were turnips, and fine turnips at that, I might add. But so anyway, there's a tomb of a monk not far out of town, and there was a necromancer practicing inside of it.
You don't say.
I do, and I did say. We found a journal of his mentioning a benefactor, and I was wondering if there are any particularly wealthy or noble folk here, or perhaps anyone well versed in the ways of magic, like a wizard around town that you may know of.
Mm,
What if I use my charm to really try to get it out of you?
Yeah, I don't think that'll be necessary though.
Okay, no charisma check then.
No, he is not particularly of a disposition, like of the kind to be
Seduction check.
to be swayed by that.
I'll just intimidate him. I'll just be mean to him.
But he says, look, we ain't got no fancy wizards or magicians around here. Just a small, simple trading town. Maybe you know that if you were anything but a wandering treasure seeker.
I'm far more than a treasure seeker, friend, and I think you are not doing quite a good enough job of being a law holder in this area, if I may be so bold.
He says, well, I don't think you're doing too good of a job keeping yourself out of a prison cell.
We'll see. I'll let you be off to it then, and I'll leave him and hit him with a snap. Not really. But
Okay.
And I guess after I finish that, I would join in with Bear and Orm's plan, but like from a distance.
If you wanted to, you're welcome to roll a persuasion check if you want to attempt to gather information from other townsfolk.
Sure. Roll 20. Persuasion. Plus 3.
Okay.
Oh, a 23.
Nat 20.
Nat
Damn.
1, 2, nat 20, baby.
All right. So you guys are you guys are all kind of parading this body around town. How openly are you doing it? Is it like just like is he like propped up on the cart, or is he just like?
Oh yeah, it's open. Bear makes a display of this. Kind of like the idea of dragging it around to show his dominance.
There's a lot of very strange and reviled looks. Some people are. No one seems like no one seems particularly that you can tell seems particularly shocked in the sense that they're seeing something. They're familiar with it. They just kind of they all seem to want to get away, distance themselves from you because this is just a really not cool thing to do. And they don't really want to be near the big giant dude who's dragging his body around on a cart. But you don't neither of you really get the sense that anyone is like overly interested or familiar in any way.
Okay.
However, Zareth, you absolutely, as you kind of pass the question around from the sheriff to kind of some of the townsfolk around town. Some of you will learn a few things as you probably kind of mentioned that Sheriff Cubbin not particularly forthcoming. A few of them will slip you the room and say, well, I heard that, and lots of people around town saying that Cubbin, well, he's on the take, gold coins here and there, always open to a bribe or two, but he probably won't tell you because he's known to be good friends with him, but only real rich person in town, real wealthy folk or fancy folk might be into magic was Bolvar Smenk. he was he managed the old Dowerstone mine. He says managed the old Dowerstone mine before it got closed up.
Ah, interesting. Thank you for that.
Not a-
I'll tip this person one golden piece for this.
Yeah. They'll kind of say, oh, yeah. Made a lot of money in the mine business before he shut the thing down. Actually he just I think he just left town not too long ago.
Might you know where he would have been headed?
Businesses in Waterdeep, I think.
Oh, interesting. And did he have a residence nearby? I know he ran the mine, but did he have a home in town?
He did, but I think he did a while ago. I think he probably moved out when he sold off the mine rights.
Okay. Well, thank you for this information. You're very
He was pretty critical, pretty nasty about living here. So got out as soon as he can. I think. I hope it helps.
It does. Thank you. Thank you kindly.
Welcome.
I will join the party. Again.
I guess I'm off at the temple, my universalist faith temple. Yes.
Anything you're trying to gain there?
Yeah. Can I speak to like the head, like I don't know,
Ed Neeson.
Head Neeson, pretty much. Is there a Head Neeson around here anywhere?
There's a guy there, and he's sitting at a shrine, and you know the shrine just sort of has a picture, like a cutout of a painting, a very young woman, sort of that he's sitting in front of, and you just sort of take a very he's the only one in the sitting in the pews, and very very stereotypically you just kind of without a word take a seat on the pew next to him.
Yeah, I say, hello, do you remember me?
He doesn't really look up from his meditation. He says, hello, well, what do you need?
I need some help. I'm traveling with a group, and we've run across a powerful necromancer. Also my daughter. She's gone missing. She was taken by a noble. That's another matter, but if you know anything about it, then I do have a certain set of skills that make me a nightmare for people like him.
He says, we all have skills, son.
I only have 4 that I'm trained in.
I feel like I need to move this closer. He says,
You muted yourself, Askren.
he says, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to take him out? I can do it quietly.
I want you to tell me where I can find him, so I can take him out myself.
There's a man, wealthy, just left town, headed to the big city of Waterdeep. He has a business there.
Then I do too.
He kind of reaches into his pocket, just kind of without looking at you, and just hands you what appears to be like a sealed envelope.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, when you get there, search for a lore master named Erenicus.
Erenicus. Very well. Thank you.
He says, and whatever you do, don't let yourself be discovered.
I won't.
Right.
They have no idea.
He says, No, if you don't mind. I'm here, trying to meditate on my lost daughter.
Understood. Don't worry, we'll get her back in the next movie. I leave.
By the way, no, never mind. Go ahead. So,
Bravo.
oh Lord.
Oh god.
So as you emerge from the Neeson temple where everyone is Neeson, you make your way back into sort of the bright bustle of the town, and it's you guys are all kind of arriving. You guys have all kind of done your thing, and you're kind of gathering back together. It's getting later at night. You've gathered various bits of information. What do you want to do?
So what did we all find? I didn't have much
a
of
name. I feel like we should just all be Neeson at this point.
Yeah.
I got a name.
I got nothing.
Bovar Smink. Wealthy man headed off to Waterdeep. Just left town recently.
Oh.
I heard the same thing.
It must be him. The one the prophecy spoke of.
I was told that there was a man in Waterdeep to meet. The scribe.
We should probably take a rest and then be onward to Waterdeep.
Your voice has gotten much more husky since last we met.
The toll of adventuring really wears a man down.
It's true. When you've been working this job, the job takes over. I barely make birthdays anymore.
That's actually canon. I like it.
I don't think it's all that pipe smoking Zareth did.
So I would propose that we head to the Feral Dog Tavern and have a drink and a meal and a rest.
Sure. That seems like a good time to have a viewer decision, Askren.
Yes. So as you guys are collecting yourself, you guys are gonna rest, and I assume first thing in the morning, make your way off to Waterdeep.
Yes.
But I have sold the turnips.
Oh yeah, no, you can take those turnips to market like during the day, and it seems like there's a being the bard that you are, it seems like there's going to be a turnip shortage in the near future, as the farms have been destroyed. So you are able to spin this into a perfect marketing campaign where you can sell those turnips for a hearty profit.
Oh, nice. Do you need a persuasion roll?
No, I mean, most of the farmers who have been attacked and their crops have been destroyed are probably in town. So, the buzz is already around town. So you're able to just kind of capitalize on that.
Nice.
All right.
And you turn. I guess you will be the first to coin the phrase "terror turnips."
Oh no.
Turnips and terror.
I'm the Bush administration of turnips.
I have a certain set of turnips that make me a nightmare.
But no, those
Mission accomplished. Bunch of turnips.
Yeah. Perfect.
it's really it's a brilliant marketing ploy.
Yeah.
And it works spectacularly. So once you guys take your rest, and as you kind of gather in the morning, you can do some various and sundry, shopping or lore gathering or something as you in the morning before you leave. But as
before we went to bed, Bear was going to fill up his water skins with create or destroy water, and then he was going to make a bunch of good berries, and he's just gonna munch on them as the day goes by.
Yeah, so we'll actually go over, we'll let you guys make plans and make your own time. But as they're going to be setting out for Waterdeep, it looks like something is going to happen either when they get there or along the way, and that is going to be up to you guys. So why don't we go ahead? Will has thrown a line in chat in chat. Go ahead and throw your viewer decisions in there. What is going to happen on their way or once they arrive in Waterdeep? We don't exactly know. That is up to you guys. It could be anything. They could encounter something on the road. They could find that there's a situation in town. They could find the guards are hostile to them. They could find that someone has stolen something. They could be attacked by bandits or goblins or something else along the way. We'll see. But throw your ideas in chat and we will vote on them, and the best one will become what happens.
Absolutely. And thank you to Tiger Planet and Solstin for following as well. You're gentlemen and scholars. Remember, guys, we hit 20 followers today. You guys will have another viewer decision. So if you haven't followed yet, hit that button and let's get us rolling. Alright, so whilst I'm getting these ideas in, let's carry on. So we're traveling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You guys are basically rolling out of town. Waterdeep is probably about 2 to 3 days on foot from where you are, assuming you're making good time. The road itself is not particularly rugged. The country's not particularly rugged, so assuming you have no disruptions, you can make solid time getting there.
And sorry, how long did you say it would take us to get there?
3 days on
3
foot.
days, okay, 3 days. It's a 3-day journey. Best keep your eyes out. Is any of us good tracker? Bear, maybe.
I've got some experience.
Perhaps you could lead the way for us, Bear.
Yes, you're
Like.
with nature.
That'll be great.
Very well.
What news of your daughter, Marshall?
Sorry, say that again?
What news of your daughter? Have you learned anything?
I've learned that Waterdeep is the destination to be at, to find her.
All roads lead to Waterdeep.
That's right. Coincidence? Or
I think not.
not?
I don't know the meaning of the word.
It means... Oh, you're doing that sarcasm thing again.
All right, let's so we got a ton of stuff in. Let's get that viewer decision rolling so we can get some votes on it. You said you wanted to use your survival ability to navigate on the road?
Sure.
I mean, you're not traveling overland. You're following a road.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't suppose that would be a necessary thing since we're just going on the road.
On the road again.
On the road again.
Bear sings us a good tune.
All right, so the viewer decision is up, guys. Throw your votes in. Make them quick because we do want to get this done. There's a lot of options there, so make it quick, and we will vote on. We will take the quickest one.
Absolutely. Yeah, Judah, yours is too long for the poem, mate. Scroll up, I did say. But if they're like too long, it just cuts them off, so we didn't have any of it really. Okay. Well, Marshall's gonna keep an eye out for his daughter and any turnips along the road, and generally kind of keep himself to himself. It's pretty broody right now.
All right. So let me get that running. Okay. So unless you guys are making your way, the travel is fairly undisturbed. The country is ripe with bandits and other things, but there are lots of caravans and stuff that you pass on the road going this way and that way and branching off in different directions. So travel seems particularly well populated. You guys are finding there are various kind of like caravan stops where you can kind of set up camp. You don't have to do it like in the woods on the side of the road. You can find like places where other merchants and whatnot have circled their wagons and set up a fire, and you guys share food, and it's a very very simple situation on the road. I think it looks like, well, we'll give that another minute. And so as you, after probably about the second day, you can actually see the road start sloping down towards the coast, and you can see looming off in the distance is the large metropolis of Waterdeep. It's probably about half a day out. You guys have made particularly good time, and it is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many of you have actually. Some of you may have been here before. Some of you may have not. But it is a very large city, and you're actually traveling with quite a few caravans that are, merchant caravans that are making their way towards the gates.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think Marshall's been to Waterdeep before. Has anyone here been to this city before? I've heard much of it, but never been myself.
I've the same. I've heard tale.
Once or twice.
While we're with some merchants, Askren, can I make a purchase?
What are you looking for?
What are you selling? Just joking.
Turnips. It's exclusively turnips on the zone.
In the market for healing, like 2 healing potions or so. What do you?
Yeah. Yes, sure. You can use some of the money that you've made to buy yourself 2 healing potions. It'll just be. Do you have any leftover gold on yourself, or do you?
I currently hold 64 gold pieces.
Okay. We'll say that if you wanted to trade, you could probably trade that and the dagger that you took off the necromancer for 2 potions.
Damn. How much? Let's just go for 1 potion then.
They're 50 gold each.
50 gold each. All right, I'll buy 1. That's fine.
Question: could I have been wheeling and dealing as we travel between caravans to accumulate more gold?
Maybe a little bit. You can roll me a persuasion check.
Need a turnip? Is that a turnip in your pocket?
No, his turnip's sold out. No, your business sense is horrible.
You invest very heavily into bizarre stocks.
He really lost the knack for it. He only had 1 good run.
The thing is that Orem bought. There was this one merchant that was selling these. They're little dolls that kind of rattle. They have badly painted faces and they're filled with beans, so they sort of rattle when you shake them. And he thought this would be a great investment and everyone would want one. It turns out no one wants any. And so now he's left with this crate of these sort of rattling, kind of maracha sounding dolls with horrible paint.
Those are the most annoying things.
Nice.
Only 990 kids will remember this.
The rest they're gonna die from that noise.
And so he's just stuck with this kind of box, this crate of them that no one wants. And so we are going to take the viewer decision here. Oh, it looks like we had one, but we had a tie. We have a tie now, so we're gonna have to wait.
You can pick a winner, Askren, seeing as you're the
okay. So I like the one that was winning. I like the one that was winning originally, and you guys did sort of take a bunch of stuff out, and I know that despite Zareth's best his intentions, you guys did sort of bring the pickled worm out of the cairn. I lost the word for a second. Mostly because your new friend Alostan in staff insisted that it was important.
Oh God, is he still with us?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is still stuffed in a pack, but
he's behaving.
Well, he shouts occasionally, but he hasn't had much reason to do anything recently. But as you guys are approaching the town, you see that there are guards outside, and they are checking everyone who comes through the gate.
Hello.
And so you guys have some time, but before they get to you, as you can kind of hear whispers among the you can ask one of the traveling merchants. They say, "Oh yes, there's a strict contraband rule in Waterdeep these days for people coming and going. They check everyone that comes through the gates."
What do they check them for, if I might ask? Are pickles allowed in?
What makes something contraband? What is contraband?
They say, well, destructive magic, drugs, poisons, things like that.
I think we have none of that with us.
Totally.
Totally.
Well, yes.
What of the world?
I told you not to take it! Ah!
Will the worm pass security? That's the question.
Well, somebody did.
I'm more concerned about the book.
That as well.
The scribblings of someone who's not quite well. As we have one of those type of people with us.
So as you guys are making your way towards the gate, the guards will kind of pause, stop you, and one of them kind of approaches. Just, "Boy, what do we have here? Poor folk that spent some coin in the city. What's your business in town?"
Our business is our own.
All right, well, turn out your pockets. We're checking all crates and bags.
Sir, I'm but a simple adventurer. I have naught but cooking supplies and my armor and weaponry on me.
So I am going to roll
Oh no.
1d4.
You
No,
wouldn't
5.
take a wizard's staff, would you? Wouldn't part an old man from
Okay.
his walking staff.
Bear, you were kind of
You are a bear.
you were
They are not allowed in.
you've dealt with society, but you don't deal well with interrogation.
I've never been to a town like this.
Yeah, you've never been to a big city, and you don't do too well with people like, you know, like putting the pressure on and interrogating you. So you're kind of like you see the guard walking towards you. Your hand is kind of like in your pack, and he's like, "All right, anything I should know about? I'm gonna have to check."
No. I just kind of like gestured on my cart, like, go take a look.
He says, he kind of pushes the turnips and the blankets and furs out of the way. "Aye, what's this here?" And he kind of pokes the wax sealed jar.
That's a drink I've been working on.
He kind of picks it up and, "Don't look like a drink to me."
Why don't you taste it?
He says,
Rather good.
"Why don't you taste it?" And he pushes it towards you. And
Like, dunk. pops the seal off. He just kind of looks at it, just like
Down in one.
"Cheers." And then just downs it. Oh my
Savage.
so go ahead and roll me a Constitution check.
Roll me a pickled worm check, if you will.
Only a new character.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Man, that is one brave man.
Oh, good.
All right.
There's
so
the
you,
bravest bear I ever saw.
you know exactly. You guys all know exactly what would happen if like you had to eat something really really nasty, but pretend that it was like pretend that it was good. So he's like. Like immediately, like gag reflex and just suppressing that urge to vomit as you like, and this thick, just
tickles
slimy,
you on the way
like
down.
it's not alive, but it is squishy and thick. Kind of worm just slides down your throat, covered in this goo.
It's gonna need some work still, I admit.
No.
What a man.
And the guard kind of like as you're kind of reeling from this, the guard kind of nods. He says,
He feels bad for making you eat it.
"No, not really." He just kind of like nods his head and he says, All right, they're clean. Let them in.
Thank you.
And
It's
as
kind of
I
like
don't think he's clean.
indignantly just.
and as you pass inside, the streets of Waterdeep are kind of cobbled with well-worn stones and scored by deep wagon ruts. As you can see, throngs of people of all races are kind of going this way and that way, bearing kind of different and exotic clothing as they crowd the streets. The creak of wagons and the neighing of horses is interrupted by the call of merchants hawking their wares and kind of the shouts of customers haggling over prices. The building's kind of cramped in the air, kind of smoggy, as it smelled with the smell of civilization, kind of the stench of sweat and refuse mixed with the aroma of like fresh baked bread and fine roast or fire roasted meats. So as you're kind of arriving in Waterdeep, you can see there is all kinds of stuff going around, and from the pack, you hear the voice of Alistan again. He says, "Hello, hello."
Quiet down. We're only just past the guards. Okay, begin. We made it.
He says, "If you would like to find my body, you must search out my friend Eligos.
Why can't you just tell us your address?
He is the one that was. It's very complicated. He is the current keeper of our order, and my body will be with him.
What order is that?
It's an order of wizards. It doesn't matter. Just find him, please."
Rude.
And can we find Eligos in Waterdeep? Is your order housed in this city?
He lives in the Garden District. You go there. At the end of the Garden District, there is a large library. That is where you'll find him.
Thank you. That's what we are trying to get from you.
This is exactly like getting directions in New York City.
Hey, I take offense at that. I'm from New York City.
Yeah, so am I, buddy.
Oh, now the New Yorkers coming out. Everyone move aside. They're walking.
Hey, where are you from, man?
Oh man, I'm from Queens, but I live on Long Island.
I'm from Manhattan. I live in Tennessee.
I'm so sorry.
Would it be pretty easy to like decipher where, like, is there signage indicating? Like...
Yeah, I mean the districts are fairly well separated, and you aren't really on a clock particularly, so you can ask for directions around. You can kind of be led to sort of the more affluent Garden District, which is sort of like over here, as you and eventually seek out the library itself. Once you're inside, once you kind of seek out the library, you find a building, kind of a white stone wall surrounding kind of a manicured yard, kind of trimmed hedges, and a cobbled path running to it. As you kind of go up to and knock on the double doors. As you approach the house, the door opens almost as if you guys are expected. And a kind of thin, well-dressed elf is standing there. He says, "Hello, we've been waiting for you."
Oh, good. We finally found you. Are you Eligon? Is Eligon here?
No, I am his servant Pollard.
Oh.
If you'd like to speak to him, please step inside.
Yes, please. We have a friend. We have a friend with us.
Pollard, what kind of man is Eligor?
Eligos.
Eligos. Sorry, these common names are difficult for the draconic tongue.
Also, thank the Stanky Waffles who cheered for 100. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
Hey.
Cheers, buddy.
He says, Eligos is a patient, level-headed man. He's very respected for his diverse taste and knowledge. However, I might make the request that you not mention Alistan's name around him. They did not part on great terms.
Oh, well, he is going to be very happy with our news.
Bear's gonna kind of like wipe his mouth a little bit and be like, "Do you have somewhere I can put my cart?"
I will bring you to the stables.
And it's hurting in my cart, too.
Right this way. And he kind of leads you to a parlor where you guys all have like wine and glasses already set out, and he'll kind of, you guys can wait in this sort of lavish kind of sitting room. After the floor itself is kind of polished wood covered in like well-worn carpet, really, really elegant. After a while, a sort of middle-aged man wearing an open red robe with a silver breastplate underneath it sort of enters. Some very, very sharp eyes, a very deep gray. His hair is kind of a fiery red, just kind of, just showing the first signs of thinning as he says, "My manservant, Paula, tells me that you wish to speak to me. My name is Eligos. How may I be of service?"
Eligos.
I said you were expecting us.
Yes, I knew there would be visitors. I did not know the nature of their visit.
We've come here seeking your help, Eligos.
Uh,
An important matter you think only you'll be able to deal with.
What exactly would you like me to deal with? I'm a very busy man.
Could you deal with my staff?
His staff is having some problems.
What he means to say.
You see, the shaft keeps talking back to him.
I just have a very hard time handling my wood.
It's the shaft that fires back, you see.
Thank you to Stanky
Bear's
Waffles
just
for
gonna
another
kind of
100
like
cheers,
reach
buddy.
into your pack and pull it out.
That's right, my one-eyed staff.
Thank you, Stanky, and thank you to Loverboy and Stanky Waffles for following. A gentleman and scholars.
He says, I sense you're being comedic.
Bard, can't help it.
I am not.
Bear's gonna kind of like flick the staff a little bit and be like, "Speak."
The staff will be like, hello, Eligosa, how are you? To which the man's face will noticeably kind of, it was already very, very kind of plain stone face, but you can see it noticeably drops a bit. He says,
He's pissed.
oh, I see. And this is what you'd like me to deal with?
Well, that's what he wants you to deal with.
Right. Alistan in the staff will say, yes, well, there was a bit of a magical mishap, and, well, I, of course, required you, or maybe our master, to remove me from this prison, but also, I figured, why not send them to you, because you are the law master here, and you will be able to fill any gaps in their little hunt that they've been on. I myself was tangentially involved.
Yes, we would like you to fill in our shaft gaps.
The Eligos says, right, so, first of all, would you mind putting that in another room?
Bear, you're holding it.
Yes, that.
Very well.
Bear just kind of
leaves.
like, what room?
Any of them, I don't care.
Bear will kind of like walk over to the doorway of one of the rooms and just like toss it in.
Some guy like,
the door.
the Wilhelm scream comes from the room.
So he says, Thank you. Now, I will deal with him on my own time, but what is it that you wished to speak with me about?
Well, we found this book in the necromancer's lair, and he had a master, and there was a dark ritual and something about a worm, which a bear ate. Dark powers, more powerful than a god, necromancy. Is that about it?
Can you locate the person who helped the person who had this book?
I would hold out the book, bring it forth.
He says, he kind of takes the book and kind of flips through it. He says, there is a lot of cryptic information here. I have the resources to decipher it, to prize some information about it. You said there was some sort of prophecy. Do you know anything?
Only that there is an evil coming that we need to stop. I know not of the details, but there is an evil coming to this land. A great evil.
He says, do you have any immediate clues, any details to work from?
We have reason to believe someone living in this city might have been in cahoots with the necromancer. Might you know where Bovar Smink resides in this city?
I know the name, though his exact whereabouts I'm not privy to right this moment. He says, there is something, but it is an old tale, and I'm not sure what truth there is to it.
I love tales.
True, he does.
I would hear this tale.
He kind of walks over to a shelf and like you see him scanning, and he pulls out a book and he says, kind of flipping through it, he says, the scholars wrote about a dark time. It was happened many centuries ago, where the undead roamed the land, but I don't know if it's true. Do you know? You know what? Give me a day. I will collect I will research this journal. I will collect what information I can, and I will call you back here, and we will discuss what I know. I also must contact my master, see if he has any interest in prizing my former classmate from his current housing. If you'd like to wait in town, I'm happy to gather information on your Smenk character as well. You may wish to find lodgings. There's a tavern run by a friend of mine in a district just south of here. It's called the Crooked House. Shouldn't be hard to find. Stay there, wait my contact, and we will discuss this further.
Do you have any recommendations of sites we could see? I've never done tourism in the Big Turnip before, so I'm quite excited.
I don't venture much out into the streets. I'm mostly kept within my library here, but I'm sure Tullius in the tavern can tell you about all the things worth seeing.
Fantastic.
I've heard this called the Garden District. Is there a garden nearby?
Yes, we're in it. You didn't see the fine topiary as you came in?
That is what you people call a garden?
We're going with the Jersey definition of garden.
Good one.
So he says, so I will call upon you when I have some more information. This will take at least a day to research.
Very well. We'll reconvene here tomorrow then.
Indeed. Marshall, you said you had a contact in the city that was given to you.
Yes, a scribe named Renicus.
Given any more, perhaps a location?
No, I do not know, but I'll have to ask around.
Marshal, would you say he's the master of the Knights of Renicus?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. Why would I say that?
You know what? I'm probably mixing up my lore.
Probably you are.
Or Lexia.
All right, well,
I actually didn't know that was. By the way, I didn't know that was a reference when I wrote it.
I'm gonna say, let's find this crooked tavern or crooked inn, whatever.
Indeed.
The crooked
Use it,
house.
use as a base of operations.
All right. So you guys make your way out of the garden district and into the district, the kind of merchant district just to the south, following the instructions. You're and the people that you ask. One of the larger buildings in the neighborhood, you notice, kind of the crooked house is sort of just that. It's kind of on a bit of a tilt. Its walls are sort of at odd angles, and none of its windows and doors are quite square. Despite that, the building looks to be in fairly good repair, freshly painted, very clean, and bustling with activity here in the foreign quarter. And as you make your way in, you find that the inn is sort of bustling with activity. Is run by a small gnome named Tullius, and he is busy taking care of sort of nobles and businessmen and all kinds of people. It's fairly late in the day by the time you get here, so the tap room itself seems to be filling up with patrons and people, getting off work and just looking to have a good time.
Could I have picked up an embroidery kit while we were going through the market district?
Sure.
Nice.
I say, Tullius. I kind of call out.
Yeah, he kind of you see him kind of hop up on a stool and lean on the counter. He says, hi, what can I do for you?
Well, we're looking for some rooms a friend of yours sent us. His name was Eligos, that's the one.
He says, look, well, first of all, I got a big meal service coming up. You fellows want in?
Oh, yes. In that case, I do.
What
Right.
if I helped you in the kitchen in order to help pay for our room and board?
And I could play music.
He says, well, look, I gotta tell you, just rented out all my bigger rooms to sort of to kind of some merchant caravans that just came through here. But I do have a couple single rooms, and of course any friend of Eligos is a friend of mine. So you pay for your rooms, I'll throw in free meal and drink. What do you say?
That sounds fair.
Are there any large beds?
I can give you a table.
There. Why don't you sleep as a rabbit?
That is not comfortable.
Oh.
Don't imagine it would be.
Besides, I cannot stay in those forms for long.
Oh, okay.
I'll run security on the place if that's okay.
I will
Tullius.
figure something out.
I spot a security breach somewhere and I go and cover it.
Okay, so you kind of make your way outside of the tavern, while the rest of the guys begin partaking of a fine meal. You were all each, as you pay a couple silver pieces, you were all each given keys to. He only has single rooms to offer, so you all kind of have to get your own room. But this is a 3-store building, so you can all. The rooms are fairly small. The walls are unnaturally angled, but they are fairly comfortable. And eventually, the tavern sort of swells with life as people are coming and going and roaring. I'm assuming Orem, at some point you take advantage of the audience.
The hurdy-gurdy.
Just as he's playing this, he kind of begins playing music for the audience, just kind of entertaining people. Tellius is kind of encouraging you to have a good time. What's called, and I guess
I think Marshall kind of like takes the opportunity whilst everyone's doing stuff to kind of slip away and do his own thing for a bit.
Yeah, you obviously have stuff in town that you want to find. You want to. What's up?
I was gonna say Bear's not gonna be comfortable here, so he's gonna go out to those topiaries they called the gardens, and he's going to kind of like settle down over there and just kind of like hang out.
Okay.
Druid craft in the dirt and stuff.
All right.
Nice.
All right. So you guys eat, you drink, and the night wears on. Is there any information you guys want, or anything you want to attempt to glean from the tavern patrons, or anything while you're enjoying the revelry?
I would like to try and gather knowledge on local superstitions.
Sure.
What do I do for that?
Roll me a persuasion, charisma check.
Charisma. That's a horse of a different color. There we go.
All right.
They believe in terror turnips round here. You bring a turnip in. You're a dead man walking.
The terror turnips.
Thank you to Master Hayden, Beta Kitsune, for following. Welcome, my friends, to the adventure, your gentlemen and scholars. Thank you for joining us today.
All right. So you get you kind of there's a lot of superstitions in Waterdeep in particular. One of the largest of them is that the town itself is sort of built on these ancient catacombs that sort of go down as far, like no one's ever been to the bottom or to the lowest level, but they just kind of continue going. It's sort of a big adventure industry, but and sometimes there's dangers out there, but mostly like it's these days it's just kind of become a test of courage or anything, not particularly lethal recently. You get there's all kinds of stories about that there are some gangs in town, like the local thieves guild has been sort of ripping off, like mugging and ripping off other gangs in town. That some of the things, like there's rumors that some of the warehouses on the docks are like, they may look abandoned, but they hide kind of sinister things. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Yeah, like something people are like a boogeyman that people are afraid of.
Not really. I mean, there's all, like, you could definitely prize stories of like violence and murder and stuff in the city of Waterdeep from people, but there doesn't seem to be anything that's terrorizing the city like presently.
Not like an active, like literal boogeyman, but like, if you like a wives' tale, or like something like crocodiles in the sewer tier type stuff. You know,
Creatures under your beds, that sort of thing.
Yeah. If you don't behave, the gremlins will come and get you and take your teeth and sell you.
That might be very real.
Yeah, I mean, there's like you definitely, like, you hear sorry, I had something written down. You hear like one of the people will tell you more than very quickly that there is a local priest named Father Zabin, and he has a penchant for collecting holy symbols. That people say he's worked at more than one temple. A lot of people say this guy says a lot of people say he's impersonating a priest. That he's not one in particular. Some people say that there's a particular time at night where all the dogs in town begin howling at the same time.
What was the name of the priest again?
Zabin.
Zabin. Where could I find him?
This guy claims that he is in the temple to Pelor in the just north of the market district.
Perfect. That's all I needed. Thank you.
Okay. So anything else while you guys are carousing? Did you want to do anything? Did you want to ask anything? Did you want to research anything, or did you want to just sort of drink yourself into sleep and wait for contact from your friend?
That's what I'm doing.
Got it.
That is definitely what I'm doing.
Yeah, I would probably just keep to myself and maybe like keep an ear out for any like talk of Smink, but other than that,
Yeah, you don't hear the name mentioned at all here. So what's up? Go ahead.
I was gonna say Bear is gonna make this garden grow as much as he possibly can. Like even if it's growing like outside of the boundaries of where it's at.
Are you eventually gonna return to your room at the inn, or are you just gonna stay there?
No, he's gonna sleep out there. He feels much more comfortable there.
Okay. All right. So give me 1 second. No, we'll do it that way. Sorry, I need to think about something. You guys will eventually, the crowd will die down, and it gets very late, and you find yourselves kind of kicking off, going back up to your room as you kind of take off your gear. You get ready to settle into a night of sleep after being on the road for quite a while, and a new day of exploring the city. And it's very late at night where you guys are all one after another kind of woken up collectively by a loud scream.
Oh.
I guess
Well.
I'm back at this point, right?
Yeah, you rejoin them at some point.
Okay, I'll
Can I
return.
just
What's that? Get up out of bed. What kind of scream? Like a child scream, a man scream?
It was a woman's scream.
Oh, woman's scream.
Oh.
that
Alright.
changes things.
Haha! I roll over.
a scream of terror
Swan-Eder
or
again.
a scared scream, not like
It was definitely a scream of terror. Yeah. You hear you guys hear kind of like you hear a scream followed by some kind of a couple quick footsteps. It sounds like someone is there's a lot of commotion going on downstairs. Someone seems to have run upstairs. You don't really know, like looking for something or doing something. As you guys are all gonna as you all come out of your rooms, you hear there's a lot of commotion downstairs.
I'll wake up and gather myself and head downstairs.
All right. As you all kind of quickly make your way out of your room, you see down in the tavern room, everyone is kind of crowded around the sort of the kitchen area, like the back room of this tavern, where and as you push your way through the crowd, as they're murmuring and they're kind of there's not like 50 people. It's more like it's probably about 10 or 12 people here. As you push your way through the crowd, you see someone familiar, the body of Tullius is lying sprawled across the stairs of the kitchen
Oh no.
with a dagger
Rib.
in his back.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Someone get the guards.
Who's this guy again?
He's the
The bartender.
Right,
Yeah,
I
the
remember that.
innkeep.
I'm sorry, the dagger is in his chest, not his back.
Presumably a little bit of both.
He's a small guy.
As you guys kind of make your way down to the down to the thing, like, and you're kind of looking over this, you see he's kind of slumped like over the stairs, just knife like right here in his chest, and one of the women, kind of like the female kind of serving staff, is kind of turning to, like, she's kind of like over his body, and she turns, she says, that's him, and she is pointing directly at Marshall.
Wait, what now? What's all this?
I'm actually going to perception check to see if she has any blood on her hands, or if she's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't do this. Don't be stupid.
Would that be insight or perception to see if
Perception.
I was running security on the place.
The woman, she definitely, like, she has, it looks like she has some blood on her hands. She was probably, like, touching the body in some way, but, it's hard to tell. Like, she's definitely, like, she's definitely distraught, but the fact that she sees now Marshall's face, is, you definitely see a look of fear on her. She's kind of pointing at you. She says, I saw him! It was him right there!
You're in shock. Calm down. I was in my room the whole night. I have no reason to kill this man who I've only just met earlier today. Now think clearly, woman. Where did you see the killer run to?
She, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Sure.
Can I insight Marshall?
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, buddy.
Plus 1. 15.
Okay. So you kind of you look down, and like you look at Marshall, and he is he looks confused. Like he definitely looks like he's, you know, like he's not really sure what's going on, but he also kind of he also looks like he this, something about this is not particularly phasing him. It may be his countenance, it may be something else, you don't really know. I mean,
At least, of course he's not phased.
yeah, I mean, you've been traveling with him long enough to know that he's not particularly emotional, but this woman seems convinced that he is the killer.
Even though my persuasion check doesn't work?
Oh, the people all themselves are like, they're like murmuring. They're saying, "What?" Like taking their distance. They say, "Was it him? Was it? I saw him today. He was drinking. He was."
Now, good people, this is a true paladin of Neeson here. He would never commit such an atrocity.
That's
now,
right.
I know for a fact this man has risked his life to save innocent people in the past. Now, there are plenty of explanations of why this young woman could think it was him. There's illusionary magic. There are such things as mimics in the world. There are countless possibilities as to how this could have occurred. Let us not jump to conclusions.
Unless you have any hard evidence.
The woman is kind of sobbing. She says, "Well, but I guess he did also kind of. He might have been." And she kind of like her gaze kind of turns to Zareth, like, and then like, may have been him. I don't know. I thought I got a good look.
Let's calm down. We look nothing alike, and our body shapes are quite different as well. Why don't we just calm down and you tell us what you saw and when it happened?
She says, I saw a man shove he had just finished stabbing stabbing Tullius with the dagger, and then he turned and fled.
So the only thing you can confirm is that it was a man.
No, he looked just like him.
Just like me or just like him?
Well, you need to get your story straight, love, because you're confused, clearly in shock. If he ran away out the door, then how did we get in our rooms?
Go ahead.
She says, well, give me 1 second.
Exactly.
She says, I was coming out of the room right there. I think he ran up the stairs.
Now you think he ran up the stairs. Your
I never
story
said
seems to be
I never said he
changing.
ran out the door.
That's true.
I'll turn to the crowd. Did anyone else see anything, or is this the only witness to this crime?
Word of one woman.
They all kind of mutter. They say, "Hey, I saw the body. I didn't see the man." And someone else says, I saw a guy, hair just like his. I saw him from behind. He was giving Tullius a hard time.
Just like his, pointing to Marshall, or
Yeah.
okay. That's a very common cut. Could be any number of men.
This is the
with that
standard
head.
Neeson cut I have right here.
It's a standard Neeson cut.
Give me
And,
the standard Neeson.
As this is happening, you guys hear kind of loud boot steps from outside as the doors are kind of slammed open. You see about 4 city guard kind of march their way in. They say, all right, everyone, break it up. What's going on here? The reports of an attack.
That's right. We all came downstairs and found this woman here with Tullius, and he was dead with a dagger in his chest. Now, first she claimed it was this compatriot of mine, and then when we pointed out that that was probably not the case, she said might have been him. So she's been very... she's probably just scared.
I have a question, Askren.
Yeah.
I have an ability called Awakened Mind, and it gives me the ability to touch the minds of other creatures, other people around me.
Yes, I believe it has to be willing, correct?
Is it?
I don't know. Let me check right now. Hold on.
I don't have it written down as willing. I don't remember seeing
Hold
willing.
on.
So you saw what you wanted to see.
But
Hold on.
Conventionally, when you touch someone's mind, it has to be consensual.
Usually.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm looking for it right now, because it's not in the SRD.
Alright, thank you to Dragon Turtle Games for following. Welcome to the Avenger, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
I have the handbook like 5 feet away. Do you want me to grab it?
Says starting at first level, your alien knowledge gives you the ability to touch the minds of other creatures. You can communicate telepathically with any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. It does not say you can. It doesn't say that you can actually read their thoughts, if that's what you're asking.
okay. So it has to. It has to be
you
a matter of actually like.
You can send send them messages,
Mhm.
right? With that, like completely mentally, and then from the actual basic rule books, it says a creature without telepathy can receive and respond to telepathic messages, but can't initiate or terminate contact or conversation on their own. So if you were to send a message to him, he would receive it. He could respond to you. But he couldn't choose to send one back to you.
Initiate it first. I would have to do that. Okay. Here's what I want to do. I want to start talking to the woman who is accusing my party members of killing this person, and not even really in common. Just start like various really creepy sounding babble and make her actually appear insane. Like,
So you want to?
my idea is to just make her flip the hell out.
You are
Okay.
my hero right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
God.
I just want to start like whispering to her in other languages and stuff, probably primordial. Just
Okay.
gonna start whispering to her in primordial and make her freak out.
Okay. I'm gonna say roll me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Okay. So as the guards are kind of stomping in through here, you just kind of take a step back in the crowd, and you just kind of you do have to do a little bit of kind of magic focusing. You have to kind of like grip your little idol and stuff, and do a little bit of chanting to yourself before you can kind of activate this power. But once you do, you're just kind of like your eyes are closed as you're kind of whispering in your mind to this barmaid. The guards themselves are like one of them has kind of rushed, gone over to the body and is kind of like securing it. The others kind of like pushing all of the people, you guys included, sort of away, and they say, "All right, what happened here?" And some of the people like, barmaid said he was the one responsible, and they're pointing at Marshall. Some of them are disagreeing. Some of them are saying, "We didn't see anything.
Officers, they have no evidence against me other than the testimony of one lady in shock, and a couple of people say I look a little bit like him now. As you can tell, I have the standard Neeson cut, and so I don't feel like that's enough to arrest me. But if you feel like you need to take me in to assuage that feeling, then I will go in. But know this, if anything happens to my companions, or if I don't come back, then I will make your life a living hell. Good luck."
You're saying that to the guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guard is kind of staring you down.
I go from like 0 to 1,000. Like,
yeah, the guard is kind of staring you down and says, "You might want to calm your tone, friend. I got a wagon here, and I'm looking to put someone in it."
Well, my tone
Here, hold on,
is...
Courtney. Mute yourself when you're not talking, because we got tons of
some
sound.
the background noise going. So yeah, he says about the wagon, and I say, like I said, I'll happily go if you feel like that's the right thing to do.
The city the guard that is kind of like with the body, he says, "All right, I want this building cleared out," and they kind of start pushing the patrons out. And as they're doing this, you guys seem to have dissuaded, especially with the woman. Like, she's kind of like looking around. She's kind of like holding her head. She's like, what? Like, she's very confused. She doesn't know how to respond. So she's she begins kind of shouting like, there's sorcery here. Someone is using magic. I don't know. I can't. And like she's gonna kind of like be escorted out by one of the guards, like possibly to for her own protection. But yeah, I mean the patrons confusion seems to have been sowed among them, as they don't. The guards are kind of pushing you out of the building along with the rest of the patrons.
When she says sorcery, I'm just gonna do an Arcana check and check for magic, because I don't know what she's doing.
Okay, you want to cast Detect Magic?
No, I was just gonna do an Arcana check, look for people doing like,
The only like, you don't see any magicians in the crowd that aren't your own group.
Mm-hmm. But like, do I see her actively like?
No, she's just kind of standing there. Her eyes are closed. She's just kind of holding her little pendant thing. Probably not out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I mean, she's weird. Anyone else would be like, But her, it's like, all right.
Yeah, so you guys are kind of ushered out on the street, and the rest of the crowd quickly dissipates as you guys are sort of left among yourselves as the guards quickly attempt to sort of shut down. It's very early in the morning, by the way. At this point, it's like probably not even light out yet.
I guess I'll turn to one of the guards and well, what now?
He says, "We're gonna collect evidence. Why? You know anything?"
We awoke to the sound of the screams and walked down into that chaos. All we know of the deceased is that he was kind and what little interactions we had with him.
One of the guards is gonna kind of shout from inside. He says, "Right, we got some blood here." And he like as the other guard, the guard that you're talking to, is gonna kind of look inside. Like you see they're looking at the stairway that leads up to the second floor, and they seem to have found like a few spots of blood that have been trailed onto the steps. And they say, "You said you were staying upstairs."
Yes.
"I need to check all of you. Come here, all of you. Just put out your hands."
So, I might have missed it, but just to clarify, Tullius died on the stairs that lead from like
The kitchen.
Okay, so we would have descended from the stairs that lead up to the other lodge.
Yeah, so his body was right here.
Okay.
You guys came down here.
Okay. But they just found blood at the larger staircase.
Right here, yeah.
Okay. Okie dokie. That clarifies things.
Yeah. So he's kind of going one by one and sort of checking all of you. And none of you, all of you know that you don't have blood on your clothing.
Yeah, I comply with the search.
However, you do notice that he kind of like as soon as he gets to Marshall, he stops.
I look back at him. What?
Yeah, he kind of like leans down and kind of pulls lifts up the kind of corner of your sleeve. He says, you got damp blood on your sleeve, friend."
Oh, I cut myself earlier this evening.
He kind of turns to the rest of you. He says, "Any of you have something to say?"
They all saw me coming from my room down. There's no way I could have killed him, gotten back up there, come back down again, in time to kill this man.
He's been nothing but a true Neeson in all of our dealings so far. An honor. He holds himself with honor. He's never done anything that would suggest he would just kill this poor innkeep.
I've never met this man before.
Right. So you're all vouching for him then.
Indeed, I would say so.
Right. And he kind of turns his head and gives a sharp whistle. And the other kind of two guardsmen with their sort of long kind of pole arms kind of walk up next to him and says, "Right, looks like we're putting all of these in the wagon. They're all covering for each other."
I don't know about that. You can take me.
Says, "No, I think we're gonna be taking all of your friends."
I'm gonna try to do what I did to the woman to this guard that's doing
Okay, they're all looking like right at you, so
Yeah. That's fine.
you can roll a stealth check if you'd like to attempt to conceal it.
Okay. I mean, even if I fail the stealth check, I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't really care. Alright, so we'll run a stealth check.
Okay.
And what was that? Intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the one of the guys is gonna kind of like, you see him kind of like rub his temple a little bit, and the other one says, is gonna quickly rush up to you and kind of like grab your arm and says, "Aye, we got sorcerers here." And like one of them was affected, but the other one wasn't, and he he seemed to have noticed, and they're like, so you guys are going to be like, the group of you are going to be forcefully sort of grabbed by these guards, and basically going to attempt to kind of restrain you and put you into their metal barred wagon. Are any of you particularly interested in resisting, or are you guys gonna sort of let it go with them?
Does any of that do damage at all to me?
No, not really. They're violent, but they're not like breaking your arm.
Just one hit point. That's all I ask.
No, they're not like beating you.
Resist arrest.
So no, you guys. I mean, a scene has been caused here. Like, are you guys gonna give your friends up? Are you gonna resist? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna resist. I want none of this.
I will comply and say we can set all of this straight back at the guard station, and I will.
Yeah, I say don't fight them one either. Everything will be understood soon, I'm sure. The mistake that these fine officers of the law have made will be corrected.
I've seen the news. I'm not fighting back.
Alright, so you guys, it looks like the three of you are interested in kind of in going peacefully, but Juanita is the one, like, she's like just fighting and kicking and stuff. So it's probably gonna take like at least two of these large kind of plate armored guardsmen to like pick her up by her arms and legs and kind of like toss her into this wagon.
Can I use this moment as a distraction to do something?
Depends what you want to do.
I want to use prestidigitation to clean the blood off of his sleeve.
Sure. I will let you do that. That's while you could in theory do that while you were in the wagon anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's true. All right, I'll wait till we're in the wagon.
Sure.
But they were they were rough, not particularly violent. But they will eventually get the three of you and the one kind of rowdy little gnome just into the wagon. But they will start sort of, eventually the scene is kind of the wagon with its horses starts pulling away. You guys can't really see out like the windows or anything except from the back, and obviously none of you being local to Waterdeep, you don't know particularly where you're going, so you notice you can feel the kind of ruddy cobblestone under the tires clanking as the chains and stuff inside this wagon just jingle and bounce around. Eventually the wagon is going to come to a stop, and you all hear some kind of muttered voices from outside. You're not really sure what they're saying, what they're doing, but it's stopped for a little while, and after a while you hear the sound of some kind of heavy armored boots walking away from the cart as the cart promptly starts moving again.
Usually I have to pay for this kind of treatment. Where's Bear?
He is not with you. And so, so as eventually the cart, like, you guys see out the back, you probably expected to be led sort of into the city to a police station or something, or a barracks or something, but the scenery around you changes. You can smell sort of the tang of mildew and salt water around you as the cart is making its way not into the inner city, but into the kind of increasingly dilapidated warehouse section of the city, it looks like, as you're passing like rundown buildings, kind of poorer shanties and this and that, and just all kinds of dilapidation. It's probably about an hour total of riding before the cart is going to come to a stop. And as it does, you guys are all going to, you see there are a couple of men. These don't look like guards. These are they're armor outfitted in like leather and kind of studded leather and other kind of like bristling with weapons. There are at least 5 of them standing outside the cart. 2 of them have crossbows trained on you guys. 1 of them has a sword out, and then 2 bigger ones are kind of pulling you guys out of the cart.
Nice.
And they're
Also,
going to.
Just want to thank
Okay.
Dragon Toll Grames, just subscribed on Twitch Prime. Thank you, my friend, a gentleman.
Awesome.
A scholar. Welcome to the event, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Raise a drink in
Awesome.
chat, chaps.
And as you guys are, as they're kind of manhandling you, they're going to like you guys are going to be pushed from the cart basically into a dark, like a dark building. You can't really see where you're going, as they're probably actually going to put like cloth sacks over your heads, kind of pushing you into this building. And you're all kind of manacled and bound or tied with rope. And eventually, one by one, you guys will all be pushed into individual little kind of stone cells within this room. So once you are actually free, like you hear the kind of the iron bars slamming behind you, you guys are sort of, the voices trail off, and the whole time you hear one of like people are talking as one of them is pushing you guys into the cells. He's gonna say, like kind of chuckling, he says, sometimes they make it too easy. All right, make sure you got the thing ready. We're gonna be taking them in 6 hours. And then one by one, you guys are kind of pushed into these cells. The iron doors slammed and locked behind you, and the voices kind of trail away, talking and laughing. And you guys are all sort of free. The bags are still over your heads, but you're all sort of in your own. You're kind of alone. What do you want to do?
Are we without gear, or are we still equipped?
You are without the stuff that because this was the first thing in the morning, so you guys didn't really have time to throw on your armor and your weapons and stuff.
Okay, well, first off, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself, which is going to bump my AC up just a little bit. And from there, how exactly are we bound? You said it was with rope, or is it like tied back?
They didn't have enough manacles for all of you, so we'll say some of you are manacled, some of you are just tied. Your hands are tied together with rope. You're not like tied behind your head. We'll say rope.
Okay. I'm going to try to summon a dagger into my hand and try to cut my bounds.
Sure. It'll take you a little while to kind of work at it. Did you want to attempt to? You guys can, like, your hands are sort of they're kind of cuffed together, but they can still move around.
So give like the door a shake.
Definitely locked. Obviously, you're gonna have to pull the sacks off your heads first, as they seem to have left those. Yes. Once you've kind of pulled these off. Let me actually. Right. Yeah. So you guys are in a chamber that seems to contain 5 cells, each with a wall of iron bars. They all seem to be facing in towards a corridor that runs down the center of all of them. So once you kind of pull the bags off your heads, you can actually see each other in the cells. You're all kind of in your own individual cell. Well, actually, all except one of you. We'll say Aurum. You were kind of put into a cell with someone else, and as you kind of pull the bag off your head, you notice that lying on the ground on sort of this sort of straw mattress at the back of the cell, beaten, unconscious or barely conscious, and in a very lacking almost all of his gear, is a very disheveled looking Marshall.
What?
Complicated than we had anticipated, or I was very right in the guess.
Wow.
Marshall, what's my name?
What is it?
What's my name? What's my name?
What are you doing here?
What's my name?
Oh, fuck, it's the bard. Aurum.
What's my... There we go. Where did we meet?
We met in the town. Turnips. I can't remember.
Okay, stay put. I turn to the one that was taken in with us. Wait, hold on.
No, the marshal that was arrested with you was not put into a cell with you.
I do not believe that these gentlemen are really gods, nor do I think they're on the up and up.
About fucking time you figured that one out.
Are the rest of us hearing any of this conversation?
Yeah, you can kind of we'll say Juanetta, you're the cell that's just across from him, so you can sort of see him having this conversation, but you can't really see who he's talking to.
Wait a minute. That sounds like Marshall over there with you.
It is Marshall.
It is me. I got fucking attacked last
Two
night.
marshals. I know
But
a lot of
you
people
were
would give
just-
money for that.
I was just there, right? Yeah. Try and think about it. I went away, then I came back, but I wasn't me.
That seems to be what happened. And though not you killed the gnome.
All
Well,
right.
not that gnome. The gnome who owned the inn.
Ah, well. Alex shrug. Oh no. That's not good though. And they said 6 hours or something until we were being taken away or killed or something.
Yeah, Marshall, you know that the whoever these people are, there were other people in the cells when you got here. They seem to have been taken out and led somewhere. There was a little bit of talk, and the only word you kept hearing was the word mind over and over. That was the only really word that you managed to glean. But they seem to have been taken away, and then once they were taken away, they never really came back.
Someone knew I was coming and planned to take us all for setting you up. Setting me up as well. So, seems to me as if we've got a leak in our operation. I was taken. In a twist of events, I was taken rather than anyone else.
We were taken.
A strange twist of fate. This is the new movie, okay? Working on the script right now. Taken 4, Age of Worms.
We're writing it right now.
I'm contractually bound.
And so as you guys are kind of you gathering your wits and realizing that you are clearly in something particularly deep, there is someone out there that seems to have the ability to impersonate you and has no compunction about using that, and also that you are now imprisoned. What is this conspiracy, and what does all this mean? What dark secrets are being held here or hidden? We're probably gonna have to wait till next week to find that out. So that's where we're gonna end it for today.
Oh no!
Meanwhile, Bear's sleeping in a mound of dirt.
Bear will just say, like, this is going to be the end credits scene. So as this episode closes, the credits will roll, and then the end credits scene is just Bear, like, he arriving back at the tavern in the morning, like, hello guys, are you ready for the day's event? And just finding it like a murder scene.
Oh god.
Nice.
Immediately start asking around if I know what.
And so all of that stuff we will find out next week. But that's where we're gonna end it for tonight, or today, because I can't think of a better sort of weird cliffhanger to end it on than that.
That's a solid point.
Absolutely.
Alright.
Well, guys, what do you think of today's episode? Let us know in the chat if you enjoyed today's Age of Worms, and if you're looking forward to next week, we're going to have to find out what happens then. Of course, we're going to be heading into Princes of the Apocalypse here in a couple of minutes' time, so stick around for a new campaign starting here with a new crew as well. So let's go around. What did we think of today's show, and where can we find y'all online as well? Let's start today with Askren.
But sorry for dropping that a little bit early. I didn't want to get into stuff that would have had to be cut short because of time and weirdness. But thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you guys had fun. I hope everyone in chat had fun. Please let me know what you guys thought of that episode. By the way, my name is Askren. I am the Dungeon Master here. I'm also the host and Dungeon Master over on a Twitch channel called Exploding Dice. You can find that by clicking the link that's in chat. We play live D&D every Sunday, as well as a talk show called Fuzzy Dice, which happens every Tuesday, where we talk Dungeon Master stuff and just hang out and have a great time. And I also play here on Encounter Roleplay twice a week, having a ton of fun DMing for this new crew and also for the next crew that is coming on in just a little bit. I'm not going to be the Dungeon Master for that though. And also I'm gonna be probably after that doing some stuff, probably an art stream today, maybe some video games later. Who knows? Lots of fun stuff.
Cool.
But come hit me up on Twitch or on Twitter. It's just at Askren. We can, I don't know, exchange nudes and talk about D&D.
Sounds good. The wombo combo. Perfect combination. Awesome. Same questions for 7. You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Hi, I'm Seven Blue. I remember now. You can find me on Twitter at mx_7blue, all words, no numbers. Right now I'm writing a script for a video about occultism and succubi. So if you're into that astral sex, cool stuff, follow me and you'll get an update on when I put that out. So that'll be fun.
Good.
This is the only streaming I do at the moment, so catch me here next week.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's head over to Titus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun today. I'm really interested to see where this goes, and if anything's gonna happen with that slimy worm I had to swallow. You can find me here on Age of Worms, obviously, and also on Twitter at RealHagosha. Do a lot of stuff on there usually. Tweet about mostly Critical Role and other some such D&D stuff. So, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Same questions for Courtney.
Well, I'm gonna unmute.
Okay.
Before I start talking. Well, I dude, that cliffhanger was on point. Holy shit. I did not see that coming. Anyway, I am Courtney Elias on Twitch. I'll throw my Twitter in the chat, and I'm gonna be in another campaign on Unmade Gaming starting tomorrow, and that's gonna be every other week. It's a whole new thing. They had somebody drop because of work, and so I'm gonna fill the space. And I haven't played in this campaign before, so that's gonna be kind of crazy getting thrown up in the middle there.
Absolutely, awesome. Last but not least, Brandon.
I had a lot of fun. I did not expect to end up in prison in Age of Worms, but we're here, and I'm excited for next week. You can always find me here on Wednesdays at 1, which is fun. On Twitter, I'll throw it in the chat. It is at John1Renicus, and the same username on Twitch. I'm thinking about getting back into streaming. I don't know. I'm really lazy about it. Anywho, Twitter is the best place to find me if you're interested, and on here, it's always fun as always. So
Awesome.
always fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Like I say, Princes of the Apocalypse new campaign about to start here in just a few moments, so stick around for that. But it's farewell from these guys here, the Age of Worms crew. May the dongos rest with you eternally. We'll see you guys next week. Say farewell.
Forever.
Bye, guys.